Now, on your front and your house, most likely you're spending a lot more money on gasoline and food. All right, the raw stats are gas is up 46% since Donald Trump took office the second time. That's painful for every American. And food is up 3%. That's not bad. But food's going to go higher because of the oil. Where I live, Stop and Shop has cut prices on Long Island. 46 stores. The CEO going, we know everybody's hurting, so we're going to give them a break. Good for you, Stop and Shop. Okay, you're not seeing any of the American oil companies cutting prices. So Nathan's Famous hot dogs are down 28%. Rotisserie chicken down 13%. Beef top London broil down 26%. Tropicana orange juice down 10%. This is all at Stop and Shop. Okay? And I applaud that company. Trying to make things easier. People on Long Island are suffering. People everywhere are suffering financially. One of the problems is not the outward cost of the item. It's that when you buy at the grocery store now, you're not getting as much as you used to get. It's called shrinkflation. Shrinkflation. 10 massive corporations, Coca-Cola, General Mills, Pepsi, and others, have all engaged in shrinkflation. That means you're not getting as much in the package as you used to get. And how would you know? It's printed in small print, but you don't know. So they're taking food out of there, charging you a high price, not giving you what you used to get. Now, more than 40 years ago, I worked at WNEV-TV in Boston, and I anchored a show called New England Afternoon. On that show was a man named Edgar Dworsky, who was our consumer guy. Here's a look. Go.
If you have children or grandchildren, you will be interested in consumer editor Edgar Dworsky's report on household poisons. But first, as he does every Friday, Edgar has an update on this week's consumer news. Edgar.
Well, that's right, Bill. And the top story is the new condominium conversion law, which went into effect on Wednesday in Massachusetts. It provides that most tenants must receive 1 year notice before facing eviction from their apartment.
All right, how about that hair? Anyway, Edgar Dworsky is now the CEO of ConsumerWorld.org, based in Boston. He joins us from the Hub. I think I look better than you, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. But you're still the best consumer guy out there, which is why you're on the program today. Now, you've been following some food, and I want to know what's going on here. Hershey's dark chocolate. That's a big shrinkflation thing?
Absolutely. We're talking about shrinkflation, where the product is getting smaller. It's a backdoor, sneaky way to raise prices. So here on the left, you see the old package of Hershey's dark assortment, 29 ounces. The new version on the right is 23.9. You lost 5 ounces. If these were full-size candy bars, that's like, losing 4 full bars in every bag. Both bags are $19.99. And if you didn't pay attention to the fine print, you wouldn't know you were getting screwed.
How would you know? So they haven't changed the price. They just changed how much stuff is there. Quilted Northern toilet paper. They're doing the same thing, right?
Well, toilet paper and paper towels is one of the big categories of downsizing. Here, the old ones on the left, there were 295 sheets on the roll, and the new one on the right has 255. You lost 40 sheets. What's that? 15%, give or take. In the new package, when you add it all up, that's like losing 1 whole roll of toilet paper. Crazy.
And then cereal, I understand many cereals are doing this shrinkflation stuff.
It's very common to have downsizing of cereal boxes, but to look at them side by side, they look identical. And that's what's really so sneaky about downsizing. There on the left is the Kellogg's Corn Pops. The old version was 18.1 ounces, the new one 16.4. So you lost a couple of bowls of cereal in every box, but they're both called family size. The one on the right is maybe slightly smaller, but how did they do it? If you turn them sideways, you'd see the new one is narrower. They're making these products so narrow, I don't even know how it stands up on the shelf anymore without falling over.
Yeah, maybe one of the kids ran away or something, and that's why they justified it. Coffee. Coffee is now, every time I read the Wall Street Journal, coffee's going up, blah, 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 blah. What's a real situation with coffee?
Well, because of some shortages and weather issues, coffee has gone crazy. Even the store brand of coffee, in this case, we have Great Value Coffee, which is Walmart's brand. The old one on the left was 11.3 ounces. The new one's 9.6. So you probably lost about 5 cups of coffee. But you remember when those cans on the left were a full pound? That was common, when we were growing up. You bought a pound of coffee, and now it's a fraction of that, and you're paying more.
Especially if you drink it in some kind of Starbucks situation, then you're getting really hosed on it.
Then you're really paying through the nose for that.
Okay. Breyer's ice cream, my father's favorite. Big shrinkflation there, huh?
Well, this is the history of Breyer's ice cream. Remember when 25 years ago, you bought a half gallon of ice cream, 64 ounces. That's the one on the left. Then they took out a full cup and became 56 ounces. But to see them side by side, it's really hard to tell there was a change, and you don't get to see them side by side in the store. And then on the right is the current size, 48 ounces. They took out another cup. Only if you had the product side by side and turned them sideways do you see the difference. So think how much we've lost. We've lost 16 ounces of ice cream, and we're still paying a pretty penny for it.
But this isn't new. On a lot of these products, they've been doing this over the years, kind of sneaking it in. But now, with the cost of food a problem, this really hurts.
Well, absolutely. You see it more in times of inflation. Supermarkets tell me, the cost of labor has gone up. The cost of gasoline is costing more to get stuff to the store. So they have some choices. They could raise the price directly, but they know consumers are price conscious and they'll catch it and they might lose sales. They can reduce the contents in some manner, such as by using cheaper ingredients. That's called skimpflation, where they literally water down the product. Or they can do what we're talking about today, shrinkflation.
Just give you less.
Give you a little bit less in the package. It's a backdoor price increase. It's a sneaky way to pass on those costs to the consumer.
And it's all legal, right?
It's all legal. Interestingly, in some other countries, Austria just passed the law last month that requires retailers to put a notice on store shelves if the product has been reduced. And a German court just last week found that Mondelez, which is a big supermarket product maker, they make candy bars in Europe, for example. The candy bar, the old one and the new one, the old one was 100 grams, the new one was 90 grams. They said that was deceptive. Consumers shouldn't have to read the fine print to figure out you're getting less. So they're requiring Mondelez to put on all their products a notice for 4 months when they shrink a product more than 3%.
We should do that here. All right, Edgar.
I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, Bill.
No, the food lobby is powerful, and so is the oil lobby. We know that. Edgar's website is consumerworld.org. I recommend it. Thank you for helping us out. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, Bill. 40 years flew like that.
I know. It was a good time in Boston, though.